So the lines we've been showing you so far have been like increasing lines or decreasing lines that have slopes that are positive or negative, and that's what we've been working with. But we also have lines that are horizontal. So like a horizontal line, I tried to draw horizontally. And so what is your rise over run? What is your slope in this case? Well, to get from one point to another point, you're not rising any, you're just running. And so you're getting like 0 over, well, how much ever you're running, it doesn't really matter because it's a line, it goes on and on. But what does 0 over 3 equal? It equals 0. So the slope of a horizontal line is 0. This would be it's called a horizontal line. Okay. Now we also have vertical lines like this. And so you can think about the slope, rise over run. And so if you had a point here and you had a point down here, you're rising, you're going, from here, say, up to this other point. So maybe you have a rise of 5 or something, but you're not running anything. And so your change to the x is 0. So you get 5 over 0, which is undefined. So sometimes they'll say the slope is undefined, or sometimes they'll say there is no slope. It doesn't mean the same thing as a 0 slope. Probably better to use the word undefined, but I do see textbooks say no slope. Okay. So you have to, we talked about making like a little note page or something. So these are notes that you might include. Horizontal line has 0 slope. Vertical line has an undefined slope. Okay. So it says find the slope O. So we didn't talk about the equations. Okay, so this happens when we have like x equals -4. So let's talk about that. What does it mean? Well, if you were to make a little table of values, x and y, you're saying x is -4 every time. I'm not saying anything about y. Y could be whatever, 0, 5, 7. And then if you graphed those points, you'd always be going -4, on the x-axis, and then at 0, and then 5, and then 7. See, those are going to make a vertical line. I didn't draw it very straight, but pretend like I was drawing it straight. And that's where you get a vertical line. So when you don't have a y value, or y term, so we only have the x term here, that's going to be a vertical line. And it says find the slope. So the slope of a vertical line, undefined. Okay, and then if you don't have the x term and you just have y equals 7, again, you can make a table of values to see this, x and y, but y is always 7. So maybe you have -3 and 0 and 4 or something like that. If you were to graph that, you'd be going like -3, 7, 0, 7, 4, 7. And they'd all be the same y value. And so you'd be going up the same amount for each of those points. And so you get a horizontal line in this case. And the slope of a horizontal line, slope is 0. Okay? So undefined here, and then the slope of 0 here. So you just have to remember, if you're missing one of the terms, it's going to be one of those cases. It's either x equals a number or y equals a number. Okay, so now let's have a quick guide to slopes. Lines that go like this, their slope is positive. So positive slope. It's going up. Think of your sails or something. Slopes or lines running this direction, that slope is going to be less than 0, or it's going to have a negative slope. Lines that run this way, horizontal line, slope is 0. And then vertical lines, slope is undefined. Okay, so I remember it thinking of skiing. So here I am going on the chairlift up. It's very pleasant. You're just sitting on the chair and then snow skiing. And then here I am coming skiing down the hill, which has always been very painful for me and a lot of injuries, very negative case for me. And then here we're just cross country skiing, not going up, we're not going down, 0 up and down. So that's okay. And then here I'm skiing off a cliff and I'm undefined. Okay, so I don't know if that helps, but somehow we have to remember those things.